Want to give a shout out to Charlie Sheen. Just text messaged me. He's listening to the show and listening to the folks that are calling in. We'll take more of your calls, your comments on his courage and what he's doing coming up. Again, we have a completely new interview. Earlier, I aired a few minutes of 2006. We aired a little clip of his new comments. I'm getting a lot of requests and calls and emails to re-air it as people continue to tune in. So I'll play that again coming up next hour, just that minute clip of Charlie commenting on his letter to the president. But right now, I want to just bring Ted Anderson up because we can't ignore what's going on here. UN panel calls for dollar reserve role to be eliminated, the end of the dollar, the devaluation. Mainstream media is reporting that they believe, the London Telegraph, top economists believe there may be a complete dollar devaluation, just like what happened in Argentina a few years ago. This is what we've been saying they're planning to do. But the headline is Barack Obama accused of making depression mistakes. None of this is a mistake. Barack Obama hasn't done this. He's just a puppet front man. You had total unison of policy from Bush to Obama. And before that, Clinton is the one that got rid of the Glass-Steagall Act to allow this to happen. The banks gave themselves unlimited money on your dime. Ted Anderson, gold went to, what, $1,008 today. And I just wanted to briefly have you up here. We've been saying it was going to go above 1,000. All the evidence showed. Because, what, you've still got some gold you bought at the at the 940 range, $60-something under what it's trading under right now. I wanted to give people an opportunity to call Midas Resources.
Yeah, I would say it'd be a good time. Obviously, where this first started was over in the Far East. China wants to get out of the dollar in the worst way. And it was happening while we were sleeping. Gold went up over $1,000 an ounce. London was trying to sell to suppress it down, but they lost that battle. And now here, right now, at this particular moment, even with all the selling pressure that's occurring here in the United States, the best they can do is $998.20, and gold has already gone to $1,008.90. Silver almost $17 an ounce now, $16.80 at a high today. Right now, currently $16.46. So, yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on gold and silver. Alex, here's what that's what's been occurring here as a dealer. I've been trying to stock up on these British sovereigns and francs, and the British sovereigns. I mean, I tell you, I was having a hard time getting any supply at all. It's just like a replay of what happened a year ago or a year and a half ago when gold did this. I couldn't get enough supply. There wasn't anything to sell. I was lucky to find a bag of junk silver to offer to my customers, and this stuff is usually available all the time. And that is occurring right now again as we speak. So if you're looking at getting into gold and silver, now is the time to do it. I do have in my stock currently francs at 233 right now. I have British sovereigns currently right now in my stock at 288. That walking Liberty half, Alex, that is at $8.69, far and beyond the best buy that I have in my entire inventory, because that reflects silver prices down towards $11 an ounce. Lakota Nation rounds right now are trading at 22.30. So just to give you some examples, we do have some other things too. We just don't have enough time to talk about everything. But right now, with the pressure going downward, I mean, the support level in the marketplace was 945. It didn't break through that. Going up over 1,000, it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing that level that Bloomberg is talking about, which is running.
Well, let me be clear, Ted. How high did gold go today?
Gold went to 1,850 already at this point. So
just amazing. And the gold and silver you're selling, you bought at what level? Is it? Am I right to say
945 is exactly where I picked that stuff up and where.
And so you're selling people at the market price of 945 when the market was at 945. That's the price it was factored in the market. When it's now above 1,000, 1-800-686-2237. The brokers are there right now. They will be there until midnight tonight. 800-686-2237. Folks, get involved in gold now. You heard Teddy said he's running out of supply and having trouble getting more. 800-686-2237. Final hour. I'm going to continue with your phone calls about the big Charlie Sheen story. Top economists, mainstream news trying to kill the dollar, bad-mouthing and say we could become Argentina. That's all part of the banking global takeover. They have to bankrupt us to get control of us. It's simple. Military economics. Charlie Sheen coming up, live interviews Wednesday and Friday, video interview Thursday, all coming up. Just so much is happening right now. I'm about to go back to your calls. We're going to go to Mike, Chris, John, David, Jeff, and others here in just a moment. I want to say hi to Charlie Sheen, listening right now. Again, Charlie's not live with us today because he wants people, because the media will just take the interview he's done, the interviews that are coming up and the live ones, and just make it about that. He wants to focus everything on 20 minutes with the president, with the letter, with the piece he wrote that has the material, mirroring the real meeting he wants to have with the president. Hey, side issue, Ted, what do you think of the whole Charlie Sheen situation? Ted is having a problem with his microphone. Ted, what do you think of this whole Charlie Sheen story?
Yeah, I just think that it's great that a guy like that in his position is willing to risk it all and put it on the line and talk about this particular story. I mean, we all seen what happened here not too long ago when back when 9/11 actually happened, and then a few years later. I mean, if the conservatives, what would you call them? The
neocons, the fake conservatives that tripled the size of government.
Yeah, the neocons. I mean, if you're just going to mention that 9/11 was an inside job, I mean, you're going to be labeled as crazy. You should be wearing a tin hat.
What about how the New York Times reported that the White House called up and threatened Mark Cuban and then sicked the Securities and Exchange Commission on him to punish him, and then he had to go to court and beat him? I mean, folks, that shows how guilty they are.
Well, that's the kind of crap that they pull. I mean, there's just so much political pressure to keep this thing under hat. I mean, like you said earlier, Alex, if you expose the fact that there are false flag attacks, it's one of the biggest tools that the Illuminati or the people that are controlling, calling the shots in the world. You take that tool away from them, they're not going to be able to wage war. You don't wage war, then the United States government gets a chance to get away from this central banking system. I mean, that's the way I look at it, and that's why I see it coming down. And my hat's off to Charlie Sheen. I just think it's great that he's doing what he's doing.
Absolutely. And we've got some newspapers calling. We've had TV calling here. I'm on air, so I have trouble going and calling them back. But I'll be off air in about 55 minutes, and I'll be able to deal with that. And then we need to call the Associated Press and get them to cover it, because once they cover it, then all the rest of the media is going to pile on. And the whole point is 6 of the 10 commissioners, Ted, said the whole commission was a fraud and a lie, and there was a, quote, criminal cover-up by the White House and Pentagon. Now, how is that kooky to go, hey, the commissioners said it was all a lie, there should be a new investigation? I mean, this is something the establishment hopes we don't look at. And as Michael Savage has even said, Barack Obama is going to stage a terror attack to get his agenda through.
Well, that's the problem. That's the ace in the hole, the card that the president has, or the people that the president bows to. I mean, let's face it. Barack Obama came in and he was going to end the wars, if you remember right. And he's not ending the wars; he's accelerating them. And the reason why that's happening is because the people that he answers to are the same people that George Bush answered to. And so, if you think you have a full new deal here with Barack Obama in comparison to George Bush, think again. I mean, Barack Obama has no more to do with this than Pinocchio has. I mean, the president of the United States is clearly just a puppet, and whatever they run on is always a hogwash and a bunch of lies, anyways. There's an agenda, all right, but the agenda isn't being put forth by our politicians. It's being put forth by some very wealthy business people that control the currencies of the world.
Absolutely, and folks, again, Ted told you he bought gold at the 945 level, silver at a lower level. He's running out of these supplies to get it at a price you're not going to find anywhere else. Give Ted Anderson a call at Midas Resources, 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237 right now, and tell him it's the Alex Jones special to get those prices. If not, you'll be paying $1,000 an ounce. Thank you so much, Ted.